Q1 2026 is almost over, and I know for a fact that everyone started the year on a high talking about Audacity when the main buzzword should have been persistence. Now, don't get me wrong, Audacity is great because it's Audacity that would get you to send that pitch deck or send that proposal, but it's persistence that would have you following up even when there's no response. Stay with me. Persistence will make you throw away your shame. Now, it's very easy to have Audacity for 5 seconds and decide to hit that send button on that message. But persistence, you have to throw away any shame that you have, because there are certain proposals or pitch decks that you send across to organizations or brands and maybe no one responds. What happens when your Audacity in that moment has faded away? What happens when you don't get a reply? What happens to all your bragado after you reach out and there's complete silence? What happens when things get very quiet in the face of everything? The persistence will make you to continue. Even when it seems very difficult, even when there are obstacles, even when you don't know if you are on the right track, you just have to keep going. And no, persistence is not the same thing with consistency. They might be similar, but they're not the same thing. Consistency is showing up with repeated action. So let's say every single day you do a particular thing every single time. Now, what makes persistence different is you are consistently showing up. However, you're open to changing your strategy. So if my consistent plan A didn't work out, instead of calling it quits and saying, oh, I tried my very best, I did this for so long and it didn't work out, I would decide to be persistent and try plan B. If I'm consistent with plan B and plan B still doesn't work out, what would I do? Will I call it quits and say, oh, I tried this for so long, I was as consistent as I could be and it didn't work out? No, I'm going to try plan B. I'm going to run through all the alphabets until I make headway. And that is literally what persistence is about. Everyone started the year talking about Audacity, and while Audacity is great because it gets you to take action, consistency lets you repeat that action. But persistence is what will make you accomplish that action. It's not easy to be persistent because imagine having the audacity to send a brand a message with a proposal and then you don't get a reply, so you send a follow-up, and then you don't get a reply, so you send another follow-up, and then you don't get a reply, so you keep sending follow-ups. Where is the shame in that? That is being persistent until you get a response, until they block you. All in all, Sha, you're not quitting. I need to keep quiet while I'm using this lip balm because Vaseline lip therapy is now 4K. I cannot be talking while I'm using this. Okay, what were we saying? If you're still not clear and you want an easy breakdown, here it is. Consistency is me deciding to post 3 times daily on my personal and my business page. Persistence is me deciding to still post 3 times a day on my personal and my business page, even if I get less than 1K views. But you know what? I'm not going to get less than 1K views. Why? Because you're going to go and watch all the videos that I've been posting since I started this Match Hard personal challenge. So I hope this clarifies. Consistency, showing up every single day. Persistence, showing up regardless of the outcomes or the results, even if it doesn't match what you had in mind. And on that note, I hope you understand what I mean. So while Audacity is great and I've gotten you through the start of the year, we're about to wrap up Q1, and trust me, honey, if you're not persistent enough, your Audacity might not be able to take you through 2026.